Welcome, everyone, to the Wizard of Radical Self-Respect. My name's Jared Mello, and I'm the Shepherd of Black Sheep. To my right, Shadow the Night Owl. He is my buddy and my right-hand man. He is the spirit animal and the mascot of the channel here. Today, we're first going to go over a Brian Etten video that goes over pretty much a Sheriff Nanos scandal. Now, we have known Sheriff Nanos has made blunders already. But in this video, we're going to go over what those blunders actually look like, because there's some pretty solid evidence that Nanos did not have what was best for the case's interest in mind in some of the things that he was doing. KC, welcome. How are you? Mrs. Kim, welcome back. Long time no see. We just had our members only live stream earlier, the Chillin' and Q&A, as I call it. We had a grand old time in there. We usually talk for 60 to 90 minutes about whatever the members and the flock of black sheep want to talk about. Today, we gave some relationship advice to one of the flock of the black sheep. Hello there, Laura. Welcome back. Charity, Sarah. Well, Casey, living the dream. Living the dream. And anyone who becomes a member, because I see Sarah, Casey, Charity, not members yet, you can come in and join. Hello there, Dana. Welcome. Regina, how are you? So what we're going to hear in this first Brian Etten video, Sheriff Nanos is just out of control, honestly. And to me, it's just a sure sign of his ego interfering with the case, because he's certainly not doing what's best for the case. And again, I'll ask the chat once we hear what it is. I mean, of course, I already know what it is, but once we hear it, I want to know what the chat thinks about it. Do you think, is there any good explanation for him doing this? If so, I would like to hear it. I'll be open-minded, but I don't think there is. I don't think we're going to find one. I mean, the FBI, in my opinion, should have been called sooner, and they should have been allowed to do their thing. But according to Kash Patel and others, they were not allowed to do their thing. And the reason why that's important is because the FBI has superior technology, superior manpower. That's why. But again, I think in some departments, such as Pima County, egos get in the way. And that sounds ridiculous, considering the gravity of these cases, but it's absolutely true. I mean, egos get in the way, and egos cause a lot of damage. I'll say that. Took a nap and missed it, Dana. Well, we missed you. How about that, Dana? Hello there, Rooster. Rooster, by the way, Kev wanted to expend an olive branch to you. He was asking how he could gift you a membership. I told him there's no way to specifically gift you one, but I said it's the thought that counts. And so just know he wanted to extend an olive branch. Nanny, welcome. Yes, make sure you like the video here on the way in, folks, because likes are free. Spank that like button. Leave your DNA of choice in the like button. Throw Shadow a like vest the way Brian Hooker should have sent Lynette Hooker a life vest, but did not. All right. Good to hear, Rooster. Good to hear. Hello there, Julie. Welcome. Brenda, how are you? Yes, make sure you also subscribe to the channel. And when you become a member or gift memberships, you get access to the members-only live streams. I do them once a week. And as always, super chats, super stickers, and becoming a channel member, gifting memberships, great ways to support the channel. It helps me to pay for Shadow the Night Owl's soy-free hoodie snacks. And depending on who we're talking about, when we talk about Corey Richens, it's to help him pay for his Narcan, because people try to drug animals out there, apparently. Not good. And I usually go live almost every night of the week, usually between 10 and 10:30 p.m. Eastern, but on nights when I do the members-only live stream, it's usually later. But usually between 10 and 10:30. Tonight, I guess it wasn't until like 10:50. Slipping. Hello there, Zarina. Welcome. And we usually talk about true crime, current events, and psychology. And I use my experience with mental health, addiction, narcissistic abuse, and narcissistic family systems to give my unique insight into those things. And as always, thank you very much for all of the support I've gotten so far. So, with that, how is everyone? We're going to get into this Brian Nitton video here. It's interesting because, I mean, really, there's no excuses for Nanos here, but I'll be curious what you all think.
Hey guys, thanks so much for checking out my show. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. Please click to subscribe. In this episode, I've got a ton of new developments in the Nancy Guthrie case. There is a Pima County, Arizona official who is accusing the sheriff, Sheriff Nanos, of scolding her for providing information to the FBI about the case. Listen.
Do you hear that? He's going to say it again.
Listen to me when I say that again. Pima County official, it's actually the county assessor, and I'm going to get into all the details in a second, but the county assessor says the sheriff got mad at her for giving the FBI information related to the Nancy Guthrie case.
So the county assessor got scolded by Sheriff Nanos for giving the FBI information about the case. Now, chat, is there any reasonable explanation for why Sheriff Nanos would do that? To me, I can't think of one. The only way I could ever, and this is extremely charitable, by the way, if giving information to the FBI could have made prosecution harder down the line in some way. I don't see how that would have been the case. That's why it's extremely charitable for me even to throw that out there. I think it was just Nanos' ego getting in the way. But what do you think, chat? Is there any reasonable explanation for him to yell at that person for giving information to the FBI?
How does that make sense? I've got the whole thing, everything that she says happened. I'm going to explain it all to you in a minute. Also, there's been an effort to remove the sheriff. I've talked about this before. There was a big meeting with the Board of Supervisors. They actually ended up voting not to remove him, but something did happen. They decided to refer everything that they've found out about the sheriff to the Attorney General for investigation. What does that actually mean? Will there be a state-level investigation into the sheriff now? What does this have to even do with the Nancy Guthrie case? How could it impact the investigation? I'm going to talk to one of the county supervisors. That's coming up a little later in this episode.
Did you hear that? He said they voted to not vote out Sheriff Nanos. Let's hear that again.
They decided to refer everything that they've found out about the sheriff to the Attorney General for investigation. What does that actually mean? Will there be a state-level investigation into the sheriff now? What does this have to even do with the Nancy Guthrie case? How could it impact the investigation? I'm going to talk to one of the county supervisors. That's coming up a little. That makes sense. I've got the whole thing, everything that she says happened. I'm going to explain it all to you in a minute. Also, there's been an effort to remove the sheriff. I've talked about this before. There was a big meeting with the Board of Supervisors. They actually ended up voting not to remove him.
They ended up voting not to remove him. It's pretty big, is it not? So that makes me think we're not getting the whole story here, because we were hearing 100% no confidence in Sheriff Nanos. So this vote means there must be someone that's voting against this. There must be someone that doesn't want him removed, right? If they voted to not remove him. So what are they doing instead? Let's find out.
But something did happen. They decided to refer everything that they've found out about the sheriff to the Attorney General for investigation. What does that actually mean? Will there be a state-level investigation into the sheriff now? What does this have to even do with the Nancy Guthrie case? How could it impact the investigation? I'm going to talk to one of the county supervisors. That's coming up a little later in this episode. But first, let me get into this situation with the sheriff and the county assessor, because this really caught me off guard. I mean, I knew that there was drama and issues between the Board of Supervisors and the sheriff, but I didn't know that this issue existed between the county assessor and the sheriff. And all of this is coming from a report from the Arizona Republic and journalist Stephanie Murray. And she reports, and this goes back now to February. She reports that in February, the sheriff and the county assessor, a woman named Suzanne Druby, they had a telephone conversation, and the sheriff was upset that the assessor had provided information to the FBI. And this is what she said. She said, the tone of the call was unusual. And she said, we're sensitive to the fact that the sheriff is under a lot of stress with all of this, referring to the Nancy Guthrie situation, it means. So she said, we're sensitive to the fact that the sheriff is under a lot of stress with all of this. But yes, there was a little bit of a negative interaction. It was inferred that we were creating a lot of additional work for the sheriff's department due to us providing this information to the FBI and then them having the responsibility to follow up on all of those leads that were provided. Sorry, I have something stuck in my throat. So the assessor said, I felt like there was an insinuation that I had done something wrong by cooperating with the FBI. At that particular moment, I felt like I was put in a position where I felt like I almost should apologize, where I know definitely that was not something that I should be doing.
Imagine that. So Sheriff Nanos put her in a position where she felt like she had to apologize for doing her job and giving information to the FBI. So apparently that's the atmosphere that was cultivated by Sheriff Nanos. And honestly, that's a terrible atmosphere. I mean, that's not the kind of atmosphere that is going to help you solve the case. That's for sure. It's going to create people feeling the need to walk on eggshells and say, oh no, I can't make a wrong move, or Sheriff Nanos is going to jump down my throat. And it's not even about what's best for the case. It's just about attempting to withhold information from the FBI. I mean, that's insane. There's no reasonable explanation for that, as far as I can see. But anyway, please remember to like the video because likes are free. Spank the like button. Leave your DNA of choice on the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. And if you're out there, say hello to the flock of black sheep here in the live chat. We have a great group of folks. We call them Black Sheep Nation. There's also a good chunk of, or I should call them a school of Pisces fish. Good people.
Very bizarre. So what exactly did the assessor do to make the sheriff upset? Well, according to the Arizona Republic, Suzanne Druby says her office fulfilled a request for information from the FBI, a request for information to aid in the Guthrie investigation. And Druby called the sheriff to tell him about it. It makes sense. She's the county assessor. He's the sheriff. They obviously know each other somewhat. So she calls him to tell him about it. And she says he was definitely frustrated. Those were the words she used. Definitely frustrated. Now, Druby is not revealing exactly what kind of information the FBI was looking for, which good on her. I mean, makes sense. She wouldn't want to give those kinds of specifics.
So she didn't mention what it was that she was going to give to the FBI, just the fact that Sheriff Nanos wasn't happy she was giving it. And again, I can't think of any reason why that would be appropriate to not give it. So Sheriff Nanos seems out of line with that.
But as county assessor, her office would be in charge of keeping track of property and tax assessments, sort of those kinds of things. So perhaps the FBI was trying to find records related to property or tax assessments. But Druby also said, and this is another quote, it seemed that he was very stressed, very frustrated. I wouldn't categorize it as yelling per se, as much as kind of scolding and expressing frustration with all of the leads he was receiving, their obligation to follow up on them, and that my office was actually doing more harm than good by providing more leads that they just had to follow up with. Now, Druby says her office's IT team actually came up with a report and submitted it to the FBI. And exactly What was in that report and why the FBI was looking for that information, we don't know. Again, perhaps a list of property owners in the area, something like that would make the most sense to me. But we don't know. At the end of the day, we don't know. And she didn't say. Hey guys, you know I'm always on the go. I don't usually have much time for cooking, and that is why I the market. But she did say to the Arizona Republic, in his mind, and I think here she's talking about the sheriff, in his mind, it was a lot of additional work that was being created because we handed this information over. Drewby says she, quote, did not appreciate the phone call. And she said, I thought I was being extremely helpful. So to have that type of a confrontational discussion for doing something that I felt was right was very disappointing. And she told the Arizona Republic that the call ended with another member of the sheriff's department stepping in, who then told Sheriff Nanos to back off and leave the county assessor alone. Drewby said the other official said Nanos should not give her a hard time for complying with an FBI request. And then she says the sheriff agreed, thanked her, and told her to have a nice day. So
it sounds like Nanos' ego got in the way. It just sounds like to me he doesn't want the FBI getting credit in this case. I think he wants the local department to be able to solve it and get the credit. And since he's resentful about that 2016 RICO case, he's just being vindictive about it. He's being vindictive. He's holding a grudge. And I think he's resentful they're even there to begin with. So I think all of this is happening because of that.
I mean, talk about like a strange phone call in the middle of one of the most high-profile investigations in the country. Drewby says that before that, she'd never had any bad interactions with the sheriff. She said, quote, up to that point, I had never had any negative interaction with the sheriff at all. I'm kind of chalking it up to a lot of frustration with and immense pressure that he has been under, being thrust into the national spotlight due to this investigation. However, that being said, it was a very uncomfortable, unpleasant conversation. And it's also kind of weird to think about what she said about another official from the sheriff's office getting on the phone and sort of like interrupting the sheriff. It's all very, very strange. Here's one elected county leader, the assessor, and then the sheriff. And just to remind you, I've reported that the sheriff and the FBI have a dysfunctional relationship, which maybe could explain why the sheriff was frustrated that she was giving information to the FBI. Although, I mean, come on, this is like, this woman is still missing. Why would you?
I mean, Brian knows what it is. He's talked to former Under Sheriff Rick Castiger. He's talked to Sergeant Cross. He knows where this feud starts and where it came from. The 2016 RICO case. That's where it started. And he's been holding a grudge and has been vindictive ever since.
Even get frustrated, but they do have this dysfunctional relationship, or at least did. FBI Director Kash Patel said last week that the FBI was kept out of the investigation for the first 4 days. Remember, he said that he wanted to send DNA from the Nancy Guthrie investigation to Quantico, but the sheriff instead decided to send the DNA to their private lab in Florida. So there's been some drama and some back and forth, just sort of for some context of why the sheriff may have been upset that the assessor was talking to the FBI.
Now, Laura just asked a great question, and that'd be good. It'd be very interesting to learn the answer to this. But was that phone call recorded? Was the call between Sheriff Nanos and her recorded? Wouldn't that be fascinating if so?
I tried reaching out to the assessor, but I didn't get a response. And my sense, based on sources that I have, is that this story that she told the Arizona Republic has been circulating around for a while. There are people in town who knew about it, but it just came into the headlines with Assessor Drewby talking to the Arizona Republic. Now, the sheriff has not commented on the situation. He did release a statement on the 100-day mark since Nancy Guthrie went missing. And the sheriff's office said, as we reach the 100-day mark in this investigation, scientific evidence processing and digital media analysis remain ongoing. PCSD and FBI personnel continue to review evidence using established forensic protocols. Investigative teams are also actively pursuing leads and tips, and the Pima County Sheriff's Department and the FBI encourage anyone with relevant information to come forward through established reporting methods. We remain committed to conducting a thorough and comprehensive investigation and appreciate the public's continued patience and cooperation. So that was the official, sorry, I don't know, I have something in my throat today. That was the official statement from the Pima County Sheriff's Office on the 100-day mark. I said this before, but according to my sources, there are no suspects or solid leads right now behind the scenes. Of course, that could literally change at any moment. They could get more information from the DNA that could come back, or there could be a hot tip that comes in. And I've seen it before. I mean, investigations can take a turn and change literally at any moment. As for the latest on the sheriff and the effort to remove him from office, there was this Board of Supervisors meeting I was telling you guys about Tuesday night. They voted actually not to take action to unseat Sheriff Nanos. Supervisor Steve Christie made a motion to vacate Nanos from his position, but without anyone seconding the motion, it failed. And all of this goes back to allegations.
And so no one seconded the notion. That's pretty wild that no one seconded the notion, considering everything that we know. But it also makes me wonder if we're getting a little bit of a distorted view of what's going on in the department. And again, that's no defense of Sheriff Nanos. He seems ridiculous to me. But that being said, I think maybe there's more people on his side than, say, Sergeant Cross would want people to believe, maybe. Or maybe former Undersheriff Rick Castiger. Why do I think that? Because all it took was someone to second this notion, and it could have moved forward the process of voting him out. And nobody did. That's pretty wild.
That Sheriff Nanos lied under oath about his work history, that he didn't disclose that he was suspended several times at his previous job. And they've been kind of digging into records from when he worked at the El Paso Police Department before he was sheriff. Despite not voting to remove him, the supervisors did express concern about his leadership and his work history at the meeting. And here's where things get interesting. The Board of Supervisors, while they decided not to remove him, they did decide to forward perjury allegations to the Attorney General's office for review. And this perjury allegation, again, goes back to allegations that Sheriff Nanos lied under oath, which is where it would be perjury because it was under oath, about his work history. So a lot happening.
And yeah, if Sheriff Nanos has dirt on someone, that could explain some of it. That could explain why no one seconded the notion. What could that dirt be? I don't know. But it seems like people have dirt on Sheriff Nanos. That does seem true. And that dirt seems true.
With the sheriff, and unfortunately, you have to imagine this has some kind of impact on the Nancy Guthrie investigation, because when there's this much dysfunction, you can't imagine that wouldn't have some sort of impact, which is unfortunate. The question, where do things stand now? How could this be impacting the investigation? I want to discuss all those things with Pima County Supervisor Dr. Matt Hines.
Thank you for joining me, Dr. Hines. I appreciate it. The first thing,
Dr. Hines, have we spoken to him before? Have we seen him before? I think we have seen him once. Chat, have we seen him before? I think we have.
I wanted to ask you about was this situation with the assessor. You know, the fact that she has said that that the sheriff was upset with her for providing information to the FBI. You know, she's obviously not saying what that information is. She doesn't want to get in trouble with the investigation or anything, but that the sheriff was apparently very, very upset with her for giving whatever information this was to the FBI, which seems kind of shocking.
You know, Brent, these days I'm not terribly surprised when I hear reports of what the sheriff has done or said. I mean, now that we found out he was never qualified to be serving in law enforcement and lied on his application 42 years ago, kind of, it's pretty fair game. But yeah, this is a really, really tragic situation, and this high profile investigation. I'm anything that is being provided by any of us, and I haven't been asked by the FBI or any other law enforcement to provide anything, but if I were to be asked, of course, I would do anything and everything possible to assist in any investigation. And I'm sure the assessor did the exact same thing. And to have the response from from the sheriff be what it was described as, again, very concerning. And look, whatever is necessary to help resolve that situation, especially that would have been, months ago now. That's what any of us should be doing, not complaining about having to do more work now or follow more leads or whatever he was saying.
Do you know the assessor?
Yeah, I do.
I mean, is she,
I do.
just because I'm obviously not from Tucson, I don't know all the players here. I mean, I've gotten to know you a little bit and know about the sheriff and stuff, but is she, I mean, is there any reason we shouldn't believe her account of what happened?
Oh, not at all. Not at all. That she's not gonna make this kind of thing up. Absolutely not. I was surprised to learn about it a few days ago now, whenever that was. But I'm, in terms of like the veracity, no doubt whatsoever. On the other hand, what the sheriff says, that's a little different, as we've discussed.
What is the latest with, I mean, you guys, explain to me exactly what you guys did as the Board of Supervisors. You've now referred some of this to the Attorney General?
Yeah, and I know people are going to keep saying this board keeps doing that with the sheriff, and that we are fairly limited in what we can do. We aren't the Congress. We can't just say, all right, you're kind of becoming a George Santos, so you're off the island. We can't exactly do that. There are narrow ways that we can try to do things like that.
So he's explaining why they didn't vote him out. But I don't know. From the way Brian explained it earlier, he made it sound like you only needed one person to second the notion. Now, there could be reasons why people didn't. As we've said, maybe they were threatened, or maybe Nanos has dirt on them. That is possible. But let's see what he says.
ARS 11253, having officers come before us, make report, etc. But we had a discussion behind closed doors in a private executive session with our attorneys and looked at the responses the sheriff was required to provide us. He did not initially do those under oath, which I found very surprising. But 10 days later, he and his lawyer did submit a notarized affidavit making the 22-page response sworn. And so that basically, yes, maybe technically we could cite the fact that on a timeliness, from a timeliness standpoint.
So that thing we went over, when that video I titled Sheriff Nanos Strikes Back, that's what that was. That was his 22-page response to Sergeant Cross and others and the allegations against Nanos. And now he has signed something since then that is now all under oath. So he's sworn an oath that everything in that is true. Interesting. Because that wasn't under oath before, but now he signed it and said, yep, yes, it is.
He did not meet the statute. I don't think that he did. Would a court sustain that? Would a judge say that was sufficient to, reverse an election and take someone out of an elective office? That's the part that we really couldn't get to that threshold. So on the advice of our attorneys, we did not pursue, vacating the office. But what we did pursue on the advice of the same counsel is that some of those responses, and we didn't say, look here, here, and here, because the Attorney General is a smart woman and has an incredibly talented team of people. So we're not going to do their job. We're not a court and we're not the AG. But we and our attorneys, in discussing his responses, had concerns about multiple areas of potential perjury. And that's, you heard my colleague say that we would like the Attorney General to look into the situation for potential perjury. And of course, the follow-up of that would be, they would be the indicting authority. They could file charges. It would be a Class 4 felony. This is not from the 1980s now. This would be from a response to the Board of Supervisors a few weeks ago. And that's a big problem, because we already saw that he's willing to I would say, lie under oath.
So basically he said that their lawyers advised them to not second the notion. That's what he basically said.
Appears to be lying under oath back in December of during that federal deposition with regard to the Sergeant Cross case. That is not the purview of the AG, because that goes over into the kind of realm of the federal courts, I'm told, by the AG's office. But this would definitely be something the AG should, and I believe will look into. potentially file charges if she sees fit.
I was just looking at a document from when the sheriff worked in El Paso, and I don't know if you've seen this, where it basically says, let me find it again here.
Is this from his personnel file?
Yes. Yeah, where it says the 5-member board unanimously voted that Officer Christopher Nanos be terminated from the El Paso Police Department.
Yes.
Is that new? I mean, I don't remember. I heard about the suspensions, but did we know that he was actually fired?
So because of that, his very long disciplinary record, that 2.5 page list there, the last 2 entries were, I believe, I think like the disposition order was like resigned in lieu of termination, kind of typed over to the right side. But in terms of that kind of documentation, no, that we didn't have the full picture. And I kind of think that maybe the sheriff didn't think we were going to get it. But thankfully, I mean, the Arizona Republic, Stephanie Murray, investigative reporting, she's been getting a lot of records out of El Paso. They seem to keep things since they were public, like that. We have that file now. And the thing is, that was published on April 21st in a very large kind of like line by line expose of every single suspension thing, whatever happened with Nanos based on that 88-page personnel file. So, but what you're describing is the very striking, it's kind of black and white. It's in writing. We know what happened in 1982. You just described it. A disciplinary board found that for 9 or 10 different specific reasons, he was failing to meet, and they even cite the Texas statute, I believe, or code or statute that is speaking to like their version of peace officer or law enforcement officer certification there. And they say in their description, he's consistently been unable to meet even the basic, the lowest level of standards that we require in the state of Texas, and he must leave. And therefore, the board voted, as you said, unanimously to terminate. Because were quite magnanimous, or just for whatever grace, he was in fact, moments before that decision became public, allowed to resign in lieu of termination, which unfortunately for all of us preserved his ability to come over to Arizona and get a job here under false pretenses. But he signed.
Very interesting. So he really was supposed to be fired in Texas, but was given the opportunity to resign instead. And that gave him the opportunity to run for sheriff in Arizona. Fascinating indeed.
Find it like on that, I believe on the same form you might be referring to, a couple of lines below, I think it said like disposition resigned in lieu of termination, or resignation in lieu of termination, Christopher J. Nanos, signature and date. So he knew the circumstances of the separation from El Paso. But now let's fast forward April 21st, 2026. Here's what he tells the Board of Supervisors. Okay, my supervisor and I had a disagreement about some vehicular towing thing, and I was going to have to face a 3-day suspension. I appealed the 3-day suspension to the chief. I believe the chief sided with my supervisor, and instead of accepting that 3-day suspension, I went ahead and left. Okay, buddy, you've been suspended 8 other times. 8 for 37 days, including 10 days for one, 15 days for another. That's the one where he nearly killed a guy, put him into a coma in the ICU in El Paso, got the police department sued, and was all.
Put that dude in a coma. I mean, honestly, he could have gotten attempted murder for that. If you beat someone who's in handcuffs with a flashlight and they go into a coma, that's attempted murder, right? That's what that is. That's basically attempted murder, or at the least attempted manslaughter.
All over the news there, right? That was the handcuffed robbery suspect he beat in the back of a squad car. So, all right, so he's facing a 3-day suspension for whatever vehicular towing thing was. And that's going to make him resign. That doesn't even hold water, because it doesn't make any sense based on the rest of his history. So what he told the Board of Supervisors under oath was, in my view, appears to be perjury.
So I know none of this has to do with Nancy Guthrie particularly, but
and I totally agree with him. I do think he's committed perjury, and I think he's deceived everyone. And that's how he is where he is. if he was truthful about his record, he would not be sheriff.
Do you think any of this would have come out if it wasn't for the Nancy Guthrie investigation and sort of the spotlight on Nanos?
I highly doubt it. I think that especially after his February 3rd, like colossal, I mean, that was the quote that still I have emblazoned in my head. Like the fact that he said, I'm just not used to all you guys hanging on my every word and holding me accountable for the things that I say. That's the sheriff in a very, very troubling, high profile case saying, very true words, as it turned out, but really not very reassuring to the public or to the family or to anybody. But after that, especially, and February and onward, I think just the high profile, that high profile investigation, I think that's what really led some media outlets, some journalists to do a little more digging, and that's really kind of what sort of kicked things off when that 3-page disciplinary record came out from a more limited public records request that I believe it was Stephanie Murray from the Republic did, Arizona Republic. That started. Then we were all like, wait, how did this guy get a job? We didn't know about the specifics of the citations and the unanimous vote of the disciplinary board, which we now do, but that even reinforces that. How did he get a job? How did he get peace officer certification in Arizona? Because you can either get it through a new independent background check, or it's waived and you just kind of get peace officer certification if you're already like a police officer in good standing in Michigan or Florida or Texas. So he probably transferred that peace officer certification in, had the background check waived because he already had it in Texas, did not disclose the fact that he was fired because he couldn't adhere to those standards.
Look at that, how slick that was. He got the background check waived because he already had it in Texas. But if they were to do it again, they would have found some nonsense. Fascinating.
So, that's all that stuff has come out. Again, the board has taken no action with regard to any specific investigation. Well, I guess we did with the botched rape investigation in 23, but not certainly the Guthrie investigation or any others since. What we've taken exception, our issue is just simply his lack of qualifications for being in the job and all of the lies. And the strange thing for me, Brian, is that we all know, right? We like the 88-page personnel file was appended to the Arizona Republic article. That was there. Yet 10 days later, his lawyer advised him to swear to something that appears to be in no way consistent what those 88 pages tell us happened in El Paso in his response to the board. That is bizarre to me. And I don't know, maybe we'll see what happens. But we wouldn't be having this discussion most likely if the high profile case didn't really cast a light and really provoke additional scrutiny on the head of our largest law enforcement agency.
So please remember to like the video because likes are free. Spank that like button if you're feeling a little bit frisky. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Or you can leave your DNA of choice on the like button. Say hello to the flock of black sheep in the live chat. And as always, super chat, super stickers, becoming a channel member, or gifting channel memberships. Great way to support the channel. They help me pay for Shadow the Night Owl's soy-free Hootie snacks. Very important. And if you're out there lurking, say hello to the flock of black sheep. We got a good group of folks in here. And thank you very much for all the support I've gotten so far.
Yeah, Sergeant Aaron Cross, who is obviously with Pima County, but also the head of the union. He told me, which kind of surprised me. He said that he thinks that the sheriff should have handed over the Nancy Guthrie case to the FBI because they had hundreds of agents ready. And I guess I was surprised to hear him say that. Most people within the department, even the ones that don't like the sheriff, have told me, no, we can still handle it ourselves. I mean, what do you think about that? Do you think that was a mistake? Should the sheriff have just handed it over?
So, and I said this on, I think I actually said this on News Nation somewhere in the second or third week of the investigation. And again, not as a necessarily any sort of being critical, but just from sheer resources and capacity, we are a large county. We have 1,500 folks in the department, dozens of detectives, but we also have a large population of 1.1 million people. And we have other cases and other crimes and other things going on here, right? To sustain the level that was sustained for weeks and weeks and weeks in terms of just the resource allocation, diversion from other cases and all that kind of stuff that was going on. The lab testing, I think due to that, there's a very, I believe there is some concerning relationship between the sheriff and the FBI because of the way they investigated him for misusing racketeering dollars back in 2016. He was not charged, to be really clear. So I'm not quite sure why he wasn't charged, because others were. But like that, that relationship, not great. And we've seen him send samples to labs in Florida, which we have to pay for, county tax dollars, when every single sample you send to the FBI is covered. And so as one of the 5 budget authorities of Pima County, right, I think about dollars. I want the outcome, of course, that we all want, which is a resolution here. But I also have to be a steward of the dollar here because that's my job, what the taxpayers put me here for. And when you have a smaller jurisdiction, and most of us are relative to the FBI, smaller jurisdictions, maybe not LA County or Cook County, maybe New York, some really massive cities or their jurisdictions might keep these kinds of cases, but FBI does missing persons. This is a pretty complicated case with a lot of nuances and a lot of strange stuff going on. And I was hoping and expecting that the sheriff would pass the investigative lead role to the FBI within a week or two for a variety of reasons, including just like relieving some of the burden that is facing the taxpayers of Pima County now, when a lot of that I think should have been shifted to the FBI.
Do you have any idea what it's going to cost? Has any sort of estimate come in yet?
The only estimation, I asked about this in one of our somewhat recent meetings. It was like 2 or 3 meetings ago. The estimate at that time was approximately $1 million over the existing budget we had already allocated. I know that doesn't sound like a lot, especially because our budget's
so
like
$1 million just on the.
That's just on one case, right?
And
so
who told you that? Was that from the sheriff's office?
I believe the inference. So I asked in one of our public meetings, I believe that. So I asked the county administrator to get us an estimate, and that was her approximate, her estimate at that time. That was a good month and a half ago now. The reason we're getting into budget season, so I'm just curious what we have to kind of anticipate. And if we have like a fund balance at the end here, can we spend more money on affordable housing or more books for the library or filling some potholes? Or is that all gone because it's kind of getting sucked into the sheriff's budget that we didn't know, that we didn't anticipate due to some of that? I just think, we shouldn't be bearing the brunt of all of this. And we should be utilizing the FBI to the fullest extent, not only for their expertise. They have more people that have more experience doing these kinds of cases.
Correct. I mean, more manpower, better resources. So why not? If you're looking to solve the case, why not use all of the options you have available to you? Especially since there wasn't much homicide experience in the Pima County Department. The FBI, way more homicide experience, so why not let them? So I agree with this guy about this. And I also like that term, the steward. Shadow and I are stewards of the flock of black sheep. Stewards of Black Sheep Nation. How about that?
And also on the fiduciary side of things, it's the most responsible thing to do for the county.
I really appreciate Dr. Hines for taking the time to talk with me. Obviously, there's a big can of worms that was opened in Pima County that I don't think would have seen the light of day if it wasn't for the Nancy Guthrie investigation. Unfortunately, here we are. It's now been more than 3 months. Nancy is still missing, literally just vanished from her home in Tucson, Arizona. And you just hope that someone has some kind of information. The DNA latest that I've heard is that they're still testing it. That one strand of hair is really the main piece of DNA that they're looking at. Remember, it's rootless. It's easier to get DNA off a hair with a root. They've been doing that for years, but rootless DNA is very, very difficult sometimes to obtain DNA off of. So that's taking time.
It would be an abomination if that's the only thing they have in all this time. That's what Maureen was talking about the other day. It's over day 100, and all you have is the rootless hair as DNA. Really? That's pretty poor.
They're going to try for IgG, investigative genetic genealogy. If you look back at my old episodes, I've talked a lot about that. And that's how they caught Brian Koberger. They look back into people's family histories. All that's ongoing. Or you just hope that there will be some kind of hot tip. So I'll stay on the story. I'm trying to follow all the little ins and outs that happen, including like the stuff with the sheriff and the assessor and the meeting that happened. So I appreciate you guys for following along too. I'll keep you guys posted if there are any developments. Appreciate you guys for following the channel and subscribing. And someone actually said, I read a lot of the comments. Sometimes like when I'm in bed, I'll just scroll through comments. And someone was like, oh, it's so nice that he appreciates us for, like, says, I appreciate you for subscribing. And I actually really do. I don't just like say that every time. I really mean it. It means a lot to me that you guys subscribe.
The guy's a doctor and he works for Pima County. I forget his name. We can rewind to his name.
Appreciate Dr. Hines for taking the time to talk.
Dr. Hines is his name, and he works with Pima County, the Pima County law enforcement.
Piece of DNA that they're looking at. Remember, it's rootless. It's easier to get DNA off a hair with a root. They've been doing that for years, but rootless DNA is very, very difficult sometimes to obtain DNA off of. So that's taking time. They're going to try for IgG, investigative genetic genealogy. If you look back at my old episodes, I've talked a lot about that. And that's how they caught Brian Koberger. They look back into people's family histories. All that's ongoing. Or you just hope that there will be some kind of hot tip. So I'll stay on the story. I'm trying to follow all the little ins and outs that happen, including like the stuff with the sheriff and the assessor and the meeting that happened. So I appreciate you guys for following along too. I'll keep you guys posted if there are any developments. Appreciate you guys for following the channel and subscribing. And someone actually said, I read a lot of the comments. Sometimes like when I'm in bed, I'll just scroll through comments. And someone was like, oh, it's so nice that he appreciates us for, like, says, I appreciate you for subscribing. And I actually really do. I don't just like say that every time. I really mean it. It means a lot to me that you guys subscribe to the channel. I do all this myself. And I appreciate you guys. So that's about it for tonight. I'll talk to you guys later.
All right. Shadow and I appreciate Brian Netton. Most of you here are already subscribed to him, but if you're not, make sure you are. And while you're here, make sure you like this video too. Make sure you are subscribed to my channel here as well, by the way, because likes are free. So is subscribing is also free. Super chat, super stickers, and becoming a channel member, they all help the channel as well. And say hello to the flock of black sheep in the live chat, would you? Now, we're going to take Mace's recommendation because there really isn't that much to go over tonight. Faithful Servant 777. He did basically a summary of live streamer on YouTube action. Let's see what we think about this. Day 1 through 40 summary. All right, well, this could be interesting. Now, don't worry, it's not 9 hours long. It is just 1 hour long, but it's a summary.
30 guys, we got a couple hours left.
Here for the United States Navy based out of Louisiana.
Josh Gale, thank you for your time.
Yes,
Good
sir,
luck
thank
to you.
Absolutely. United Cajun Navy out of Louisiana. Okay, and what other searches have been a part of? A lot of them actually.
So let's analyze this video first. Then we'll discuss things.
I'm going to say it is day 24 since our mom was taken in the dark of night from her bed. And every Every hour and minute and second and every long night has been agony since then. Of worrying about her and fearing for her, and aching for her, and most of all, just missing her. Just missing her. We know that millions of you have been praying, so many people.
My reception.
I've been praying of every
It's horrible.
faith and no faith at all, praying for her return, and we feel those prayers. Please keep praying without ceasing. We still believe. We still believe in a miracle. We still believe that she can come home. Hope against hope. As my sister says, we are blowing on the embers of hope. We also know that she may be lost. She may already be gone. She may have already
Well, this is the very beginning, Mace. According to the red bar here.
gone home to the Lord that she loves and is dancing in heaven with her mom and her dad and with her beloved brother Pierce and with our daddy. And if this is what is to be, then we will accept it. But we need to know where she is. We need her to come home. For that reason, we are offering a family reward of up to $1 million for any information that leads us to her recovery.
Recovery.
All of the information about this reward and the details is in the caption below.
Recovery.
You can call the 1-800 tip line. You can be anonymous if you want. Someone out there knows something that can bring her home. Somebody knows. And we are begging you to please come forward now. We also know that we are not alone in our loss. We know there are millions of families that have suffered with this kind of uncertainty. And for that reason today, we also are donating $500,000 to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children for their work in helping families who are coping with loss and actively looking for those who are lost. We are hoping that the attention that has been given to our mom and our family will extend to all the families like ours who are in need and need prayers and need support. So please, if you hear this message, if you've been waiting and you haven't been sure, let this be your sign to please come forward, tell what you know, and help us bring our beloved mom home so that we can either celebrate a glorious, miraculous homecoming or celebrate the beautiful, brave, and courageous and noble life that she has lived. Please be the light in the dark. Thank you.
No, un poco más hacia acá para que pase.
O si fueron las autoridades.
No, señor, no comentaron de eso.
Now, those things, that's how you plant signs. Back in my political polling days, we would sometimes put up signs and they'd be like little side gigs. And that's one of the tools that you would use, that thing that you hammer the pole into the ground. They're actually pretty tough, honestly. Or that's like you use that to spike the sign into the ground. That's how it works. So this is the no trespassing private property sign.
I'm looking for Jonathan. It's JLR Investigates.
Nice. That's me.
Oh, okay.
It's me.
We're out walking.
Remember yesterday, one of the maintenance men came up to us and said FBI was asking about January 11th and January 16th. Less and less media out here. We are going out to Mount Lemon today. Plenty of water. Nice. What's this? Oh, what's this? What's this? What's this? Who the heck are these people? Ellie, what's this? Whoa, we got some people here. Whoa. Ellie's here. What's this? Holy smoke, somebody's here.
I tell you, I mean, law enforcement probably sees JLR on the scene. They're like, oh, God, here we go.
It looks like feds. Yep.
That's an activity.
He put his head down. He didn't want to be seen. He put his head down. Look. Who's that guy?
Got another one.
What's this? Oh.
See that?
Leaving.
They're leaving.
He said later. Later, Jared, or later somebody.
Law enforcement. Oh my goodness. Whoa. Big deal. They're just all over the place. Two feds everywhere.
They came in hot.
Whoa.
What the heck?
Holy smokes.
Nice. Look at that, suits. We got suits coming in.
Yo. Front door.
You guys see that? I know, we're just saying, we're being like, you know?
I mean, again, to be honest, once we saw that JLR documentary that we went over, what, a month ago or 45 days ago now, after I saw that, nothing would surprise me. There's literally, he's gone so far in extreme that there's really nothing. There's nothing that would surprise me at this point.
No, wait. Don't trip me out, guys. Don't freak me out. Is that the brother? Is that the brother, guys?
Is that Cameron? I can't tell.
I wonder if that's the brother.
I don't think so. Maybe, I don't know.
Guys, is that the brother? Somebody? No? Okay.
Where the hell is he filming this from? It's like a peeping Tom or something. Where is it, like in a tree? What is this?
Brothers, okay, thank you guys. Thank
It's like a drone footage. Is that what this is? A drone?
you.
An airfield. It's 26 miles from Nancy going southwest. This is where Kayla and Luke, along with other dangerous people, go to. It's ran down in many places to hide Nancy. Before Kayla took down her images, they were screenshot. She is pictured there at an old ranch hanging upside down from a cross.
Yeah, I think it was a drone. I was trying to gauge what it was, but it's a drone.
Holy smokes.
The hell is this?
And here's the arrest records. Kayla wasn't released from Pima County Jail. She was transferred to Perryville Prison in Arizona. She will be released in October of this year.
I don't feel that it was a right call not putting crime scene tape up there from the beginning.
Uh-oh, we got some max.
Is that the woman that was doing a photo shoot at the beginning there? Or not at the beginning, but wasn't there that girl that was scantily clad in front of the Guthrie house? Is that person?
In here, I got to call you back.
I see that.
All right, I'll call you back. Thanks for the chat. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, somebody's here. He's directing them around the circle. Let me zoom in.
This is the same man that appeared next to the Guthries on March the 2nd.
Look at that. Going in the back. They're opening up the garage. Closing.
I will say, it must have been a nightmare for the actual family with all this action around them, these cameras everywhere. Must have been all. I mean, this is also probably the reason why the Guthrie family had to escape in the middle of the night that night, right? Don't talk about that much, but they were being harassed. So they had to flee under the cover of darkness.
They went in there, closed the door, and now came out. Sheriffs arrived. I think they're patrolling to make sure no cars are parked.
I think it's backup for Savannah and Annie, just in case.
I didn't know, but my name is JLR. It's probably us over here. I'm JLR. Yes, sir. More deliveries. Interesting. Who did that? Who sent that?
I mean, JLR's presence like makes it feel like the Twilight Zone to me now. Because again, he's just got that wild energy that, I mean, most of you, if you haven't seen this documentary about him, you don't even know what I'm talking about. But if you have, you won't be able to see it the same way again. So now, every time I see him, it's like there's this Twilight Zone type energy going on. It's like, is this real? Is this a grift? Is this this? Is this that? It's hard to say.
Melissa? Melissa. Car's leaving. You Ubered here. 857 brought a new
$6.
$6. He's fixing it. That's a Mercedes. It looks like somebody with a bald head. They're leaving.
Oh, they're leaving. They're leaving.
So it's kind of hard to decipher what's going on with some of this stuff. I mean, they're not really labeled. We don't really know who they are in some cases. So we're just trying to piece it together, I guess.
We got to put the camera and find out who this person is.
There you go. That must be the drunk dude that was driving back and forth in front of the Guthrie house, right?
I called my company. They want to run this. We're out here outside the Nancy Guthrie household where this man just underwent a field sobriety test. He was allegedly sitting out here in his car.
So why does this video start at day 24 then? Why didn't it start at day 1?
Potentially smoking marijuana. Had a picture of Nancy Guthrie on his phone. When asked what he was doing, he pulled out his phone and pointed out the picture. Officers did smell marijuana. They conducted a field sobriety test, and he is now being placed in the back of the vehicle.
Video recorded by Dad's Gone Live shows officers responding to calls about a man parked on a residential street at night. 4 officers are present. Among them, Travis Reynolds, a deputy with the Pima County Sheriff's Department, who was later arrested for kidnapping.
Don't block the road.
Listen to
Don't block the road.
Because it's not this video. This is the wrong video to start on day 1.
We got a call to the Guthrie residence that Nancy Guthrie, 84 years old.
So this is day 2. So that's as good as it's going to get. We're not going to do day 1.
Was missing. We believe now, after we process that crime scene, that we do in fact have a crime scene, that we do in fact have a crime, and we're asking the community's help.
Let me get this right. You're asking for the community's help, but not giving us anything?
This community has always stepped up to help us solve some pretty tough crimes. Good morning. I don't know that everybody knows who's here. Of course, I'm Sheriff Chris Nanos. John Edwards is the Tucson chief here for the FBI, and he'll have some words for you as well. This is really, for me, pretty new, all the media attention. So I apologize to you for sometimes I'm speaking in generalities, and I'm not used to everybody hanging on to my words and then trying to hold me accountable for what I say.
Hold you accountable? You're the fucking sheriff. We listen to your every word.
Whoa, this stuff is getting crazy, folks. Out in Arizona, ransom notes,
ransom notes being sent to media stations. Multiple media stations now have received a ransom note.
So something happened.
JLR, the Walter Cronkite of our day.
Happened here just a few minutes ago. We received an email at TMZ from somebody purporting to basically issue a ransom demand. I'm not going to read this, but the top line to it is that they are asking for money, a lot. They are asking for it in the form of Bitcoin, and they are putting an or else on this.
Right.
Now, they also say they do two things.
You don't want that number.
Right. They say two things. They say that that there is an address, a Bitcoin address that that they could send this money to, and then they give a description of something that Savannah's mother was wearing.
You can now see blood, like a blood trail.
This is helpful because now that we go back to day 2 and beyond now. So day 3, the blood trail, they're talking about that. February 3rd.
Coming out of the front of the.
And Shadow says, please remember to like the video because likes are free. Spank the like button. Leave your DNA of choice on the like button. Like the video if you wish Sheriff Nanos would be recalled. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. And I go live almost every night to talk about true crime, current events, and psychology. Usually it's between 10 and 10:30 p.m. Eastern. To my right, Shadow the Night Owl, my right-hand man, the mascot and spirit animal of the channel. Thank you very much for all the support I've gotten so far. And say hello to the flock of black sheep in the live chat here too. Especially now that Julie Bug's here too.
House, which is something that we're seeing for the first time now that the crime scene is cleared. We could get a little closer.
Crime scene cleared? What about this porch, Matt?
DNA is all over this fucking thing.
And the other thing we noticed, which I had reported earlier, is that the ring. Here we go. This is the new video. Look at this closely, Connell, because this is the first time that we're seeing this. But you can see right there. See the blood? There's blood outside the front door very clearly.
Breaking.
There it is. The very clear blood. And again, if you're Sheriff Nanos and company, how long does it take you to notice that blood? Because once you see that blood, you're no longer going to think Nancy walked away, would you? I wouldn't think so. So once you see the blood, it looks like foul play, and then you should adjust accordingly.
News. Big breaking news. Come on in, folks. There he is, prime suspect in the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. See this guy right here, Tommaso Cioni. He is a rock star, plays in a band. There he is in the center with his bandmates. I found a clip of them playing in a band. You want to hear a song? You want to hear his band? Let's play.
Hopefully, Tommaso's music is not copyright. I can't tell if the laughter is a cynical soundtrack or something the band is doing.
Oh, here's the other thing. Someone had mentioned there was forced entry. I have no clue where that comes from. I think I am about done with my piece of this. I'm going to bring up here Heath Yankee, and I think you know him if you haven't been here. John Edwards is the assistant agent in charge with the FBI here in the Tucson office. Heath Yankee is the special agent in charge for the state of Arizona out of Phoenix.
Thank you, Sheriff. Hello, I'm Heath Yankee, the special agent in charge of the FBI's Phoenix Division. The FBI is now working this case jointly with the Pima County Sheriff's Department. And we're going to start today by announcing a $50,000 reward for information leading to the recovery of Nancy Guthrie and or the arrest and conviction of anyone involved in her disappearance. And this will be the missing persons with the reward that will be going out. We are actively reviewing and analyzing information from all digital sources, which includes banks, social media companies, phone companies, and any other organizations where a digital footprint could have been captured. Next, regarding the ransom letter. We are aware of a ransom letter that was sent to the local media and then to national outlets.
I'm not sure who this guy is. Who is this guy?
Any action taken on any ransom is ultimately decided by the family. My next message is to those imposters who are trying to take advantage and profit from this situation. We will investigate and ensure you are held accountable for your actions. We have made one arrest related to an imposter ransom demand.
Derek Colella.
Jonathan flies to Tucson, boots on ground.
This is the Guthrie's hired security guard right here. He's hired. He's a hired security guard out here. So we're going to find out what the deal is, what this is all about, what is going on. Just give me a few minutes. Annie, media is out here. Media is out here with their vehicles camped outside the home. Security guard, right?
As a creator, I notice the equipment now. So I notice, oh, what kind of camera is that? Oh, what kind of sound equipment do they have? What kind of microphone do they have? Those are the things that Shadow and I notice.
Right here, he is hired. He's making sure no one goes on to the property of Annie, Tommaso, whoever else is there. He is hired by the family. They told me they're working in shifts. They're working.
On that flatbed truck is a car. We do not know if this is coming from the driveway of Nancy Guthrie's home. We don't know if it's coming from a neighbor's, but we have been told and asked to look out for it. I'm going to get out of the way. It is really important that we get a shot of this car as it comes. Ladies, follow me as we do it. Lewis, go ahead and turn.
What's it say?
Here, just
couldn't read it.
Tons and tons and tons of people all across. So hopefully it looks good. At least it's paying. At least it's awesome. I've been sleuthing around a little bit today, going to these Bitcoin centers, and I don't know. Are they paying a ransom? They're offering to pay. They're offering to pay. That's the thing. So, all right. So yeah, basically is a new video got submitted.
So that guy apparently was a special agent in charge of Phoenix. And I know we were thinking before, has the FBI spoke at all about this case? Have we heard any official representatives? And apparently that was one. What else did they say? I don't know. Maybe we should look it up in a minute.
857. What's going on, 857? We restrained some.
857 Tucson's the one that we saw. He filmed the detectives trampling the front porch, trampling the crime scene. We saw that because of what 857 Tucson reported. Remember that?
Your stuff the other day.
Yeah.
Gave you the plug.
Dude, I've been watching you for years.
Nice to meet you. Yeah, I saw you on Twitter. I think I gave
Your message, and we understand. We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace. This is very valuable to us, and we will pay.
Ends Arizona Wildcats game as Guthrie family drops emotional plea to kidnapper.
Sheriff Nanos on day 7 at a basketball game. Bad optics. A narcissistic person like Sheriff Nanos should know better. Being concerned about image as he is, this is bad optics.
Just listen to this.
They call that a coyote roll call. The wolves do that too, but that's what it means. They're actually literally doing a roll call, check in on all their buddy coyotes. Shadow says we should do a roll call for the Black Sheep Nation. And I said, good idea, Shadow. A flock of black sheep check in.
Dude, outside of the road, and he's coming from the back. This is outside the home of Annie and Tommaso, and there's coyotes. Dude, that's crazy. So, let me just spin the camera around to show you, like, the scene here.
Give me a ba or a hoot. I prefer a hoot. Shadow says he prefers a hoot as well. Well, a hoot, or what else would be? What would be the flock of black sheep's roll call? You know, when the black sheep say hoot, that really stands out. How about that?
There's like a lot of media here. There's almost media out here. All over the place. It's like media. So there's lots of media here. So it's not just me, folks. It's a female. Female deputy going over here, so I don't know what everyone's waiting for. Maybe somebody's coming back. He's getting their mail. They put on gloves. What in the heck? Dude, he put on gloves. He put on gloves and got the mail. What the heck did we just watch here? Dude, he's probably instructed to get the mail but wear gloves just in case there's like a ransom in the mail or something.
So this looks like the night where they went to Annie Guthrie's house, right? Or is that Nancy's house? I can't tell.
All right, so this is Jason right here. Jason is a neighbor. He lives here. He's never seen anything like this ever. What do you think happened here? As you being a Tucson resident, what's your gut telling you?
My gut is telling me that it's the brother-in-law.
Got action. What is sheriff's up here for? Two sheriffs have arrived on the top of the hill. Oh, maybe somebody complained about trespassing or something.
This house is referred to as the Carr House. Let's take a look inside. Last sold in October 2nd, 2023 for $829,000. Just to our left is Sue Ellen's home. Let's take a look inside, as Realtor.com showed it before purchasing. Single family. Year built is 1961. Last sold for $625,000 in 2017.
This whole thing makes me feel like I'm kind of losing it. It's like more of the Twilight Zone as a possum is singing in the corner. Like, what the hell is going on here? Or is it a raccoon? I guess it's a possum.
Yeah, we got your story.
Jonathan is about to meet Alex.
The scanner on right now. He's listening to it. So if anything pops off.
Hello.
Hello.
name's Alex.
Hi, Alex. How are you?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah. I was so certain.
All right, so we got Alex. Alex,
Network.
what's going on, Alex? So, Alex, you told me you were out here searching for the very first time.
Yeah, I came Thursday. Asked some of the news vehicles because there's no cops here that day. I'm like, is there any search party? And they're like, nothing we know of. So I just went walking, and behind the house right there, there's a big building. And you get like almost up close to the houses. You know what I mean? So honestly, it was undisturbed. I don't think she went out that way. She had to come out this way.
Why? What's back there?
It's a gully. So in other words,
But like the terrain is all
rock. You wouldn't have taken an 84-year-old that way.
No.
No. It would, like, let me show you the picture. It's just too rough back there. There's even like the sharp trees hitting you all the time out there. So anyway, so she had to come out at the front.
Here's his channel.
This is Faithful Servant 777. It's just a mashup of things that some of the live streamers have done.
Oh my!
All right, come on in. Come on in, right over here. Here with the local resident, the Juice.
Da Juice.
Juice is on YouTube. What's going on?
Tips. I mean, the new information has been popping up left and right. So I figured I'd take it live to my YouTube channel to kind of put the message out there a little bit.
Public awareness.
And it just has to be family related for whatever's going on. I feel like it's got to be.
Down. JLR investigates another day outside of Nancy Guthrie's home. It is a media circus. There is more media here today than there was the last couple days. Media is camped out here all over the place. Look at the cars. They go all the way down the street. Dude, that's like 20 feet up. Look how high it is. It's not moving. It's shooting higher than the house. They shoot drones up in the sky. Where is it? Where is it? It's like it's falling. It's coming down.
Like watching World War II footage of drones being shot down over the Pima County desert.
Drone down.
Not much of a crash landing. It looks like a good landing. They stuck the landing.
Soft landing.
JLR agrees.
Guthrie's possible abductors are demanding $6 million by 5 p.m. today. We're ready for the next break. TMZ saying the Bitcoin account is at zero.
What are the odds? Jared said, or Shadow said to me, Jared, you should do a Culsey odds. What are the odds that JLR created one of those ransom notes? It's certainly not 0% odds. I put the odds at something non-zero.
Right now. I don't know how they get the information. I don't know how they get the account number.
Is this, because I heard you saying someone was going to come with a report in about an hour. Is this the one you were talking, or is this something different?
Breaking news. Boots on the ground. Another day, folks, out front of the home of Nancy Guthrie. JLR investigates. Got it.
Richard Nolette says his brother took Nancy Guthrie to Rose Canyon Lake. This clip occurred the morning before they aired The Perp on Front Porch. The early morning of February 10th, before the video of Perp on Nancy Guthrie's porch was displayed to the world, this man was seen walking past. Coincidence? Maybe. Let's zoom in closer. AI stated the dog is a Rhodesian Ridgeback or a Hungarian Vizsla.
So at least y'all got to join me for the sunrise this morning.
Even the dark soles on the shoes tend to match.
Got it. Got it. I got it, folks. Here we go. I got it. Here we go. Sorry, folks.
What do I think JLR made in February? That was basically the killer month, right? He might have made 40, 50 grand that month, honestly. Between the super chats and the constant live streams and the YouTube AdSense revenue, I could see 40, 50 grand, maybe 30 grand, but neither would surprise me.
What in the heck is that? What in the heck is he holding? What do you think? Dude, that's creepy.
Yeah, what is he holding?
This is 10 days.
I mean, 100 grand for the 1 month, that's pushing it, but not impossible.
Other images.
So are we in terminal break?
Who is that?
I mean, what does JLR prove? Just get out there, entertain the folks, and that's it. Put your camera up, press play, talk to people, and let it roll. Give a little commentary here and there.
He's got gloves on.
Got gloves on. Got glasses. Dude, this is crazy.
Here's the thing, folks. Live stream videos, the AdSense revenue is not as much as a recorded video. A recorded video with 1 million views is going to pay you more than a live stream with 1 million views, because not all views are created equally in the eyes of the advertisers. The live stream bonuses are super chats, super stickers, channel members, etc. You don't really get that from a recorded video, but that's the bonus of live streaming, is you can get that. And so ultimately you can make way more live streaming than you can with recorded videos, because with recorded videos, I mean, you're in competition with all the people that have fancy editing, the massive budgets, and that makes it tough. And it's all about watch time. That's why interviews do well a lot of times. If you have the right guests that are interesting, that's what YouTube wants. YouTube wants people on the platform. Stay on the platform and engaged. That's also why they like live streamers, because what does a live streamer do? Keeps you on the platform, keeps you engaged. So YouTube likes that. YouTube likes it when people like me and JLR and whomever live stream. And the bonus for us financially is, we'll get paid less for the view, but the super chats, the super stickers, the channel memberships, super thanks, all that stuff. I guess super thanks don't really apply to live streams, but that's where you can make your money as a streamer.
Somebody just came to the Guthrie home. Hold on, we got somebody here. Who? It's Domino's. Somebody sent him a pizza? Somebody sent Nancy Guthrie a Domino's. Holy smoke. Did somebody order a pizza?
I'm trying to figure out who it's for.
Was it?
It's for JLR.
What's it? Does it have a name on it?
It's Jonathan Lee Riches.
Does it's Alyssa?
Alyssa?
Yeah. Don't know what. I'm just gonna give him a call. It's got to be one of you guys out here.
Or somebody pranked you.
This is somebody from Oregon. She says that she sent it to your guys' company. Ma'am, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I sent him pizza from Oregon. That's for him.
Nice. Oh, there you go. There you go. What's your name?
You gotta read your messages on YouTube.
What's your name, man? You got the whole national media watching. All right.
You gotta read your messages on YouTube. He's like, JLR's like, I got thousands and thousands of messages. He's like, you think I'm gonna read them?
Guys, a couple of big updates here happening right now with the Nancy Guthrie investigation. First of all, TMZ is now reporting that there is movement in the Bitcoin account. Does that mean that Savannah Guthrie is paying the ransom? I don't know, but TMZ is reporting movement in the Bitcoin account. Really, only TMZ can report this because they're the ones who got the first ransom letter and they're the ones who have the Bitcoin address. So we kind of just have to trust what they're reporting because we have no way to verify it.
We're going to see what happens here. If this is just a
Here comes Daniel
they got
Gutierrez
embarrassed
and
by people
Damien.
coming onto the property, delivering pizzas, or anyone not paying attention. But they have came and blocked two vehicles. Hey, how are you? 857. What do you think about this new footage?
You know what I immediately thought is everybody needs to look local. As Tucson's only got 500,000 people, so look at the body type. It's Adelita Grijalva.
Oh, okay. Yes.
And I want to introduce you to. He ran against Adelita Grijalva, Congress.
Oh, Congress. What's your name?
Daniel Gutierrez.
Daniel. So you were running for Congress?
Yep.
All right. So your take on the situation here.
What the hell is going on with the video footage here?
Well, our city hasn't seen anything like this. Like Damien, I was born here. This is our home. Used to be a pretty nice community, but with all the drugs that are plaguing, I mean, we're the major corridor that's flooding the entire country. It comes right through Tucson. The homelessness is out of control. The crime, the free buses. I hear from the community all the time. They want to stop the free buses, and no one holds anybody accountable. That's the problem with Tucson right now. We have really bad leadership here.
He's basically saying they're allergic to accountability and they break out in excuses, blame shifting, flipping the script, playing the victim, word salad, you name it.
Going to Annie's house. Come on, we'll stay with me. We'll just keep the stream on and drive. Yeah, we're going to Annie's house. We're on the move. See you guys there. If not, see you guys on the fly.
So this is the one thing that Brian Netton you don't get with him, right? You don't get this scenic route of Pima County. And just like what the climate of the place looks like. What does it look like? What is the town like? With Brian's coverage, you really only see that street for the most part. But with JLR here, you see a little bit of the town. Look at town. Look at where Nancy was living.
Right here. We're here. Looks like reporters are here. All right. They're all going across the street or something. All right. Yeah, we're off. We're off. Some media already here.
I'll tell you what JLR can teach people, though, is that in this era of social media and YouTubing, etc., live streaming, if you just become curious and let your curiosity just kind of run wild like a kid, you can get rewarded. Honestly, that's the lesson that Shadow and I see. It's like, well, this is what the people want. This is what people want. This is what you can do. Now, of course, if everyone does it, it would diffuse the views, but the lesson still applies.
He's coming.
What do we got? Where are they at? That way?
Police?
Yeah.
There's right now there's several officers. I'm not
their
sure.
office is right here.
Yeah, I'm not sure what their credentials are.
Oh, they're going door to door. Look. Look.
Yeah. They were at the house next door,
open
and
that
they've
up
been
and set
down
that
that
up?
house. Yeah. So they're going to every door on this. On
Why?
this block.
Well, they're probably going to be asking for the ring cam and Nest cam footage, right? To see if they can see footage of the car that took Nancy away.
Why? Dun, dun, dun. Oh, it's a pig. Boar. What is that? Holy smokes.
Yes, I'm stopping. We're following a different set.
Holy smokes. We got a breaking news. I don't know where this thing came from. Evelina.
His name is Wilbur or Babe. The only two appropriate names for a kid, for a pig.
What is it? Javelina. Are they wild?
Yes.
That's not somebody's pet.
And a herd of them will hurt.
Wow. Javelina.
Sorry.
Whoa.
Okay, yeah, I'll find it on the number. But yeah, it could be in the next little bit. Probably never.
Yo, cheers.
Almost looks like a porcupine, but not quite.
There's FBI here and javelinas walking around.
If you've made it this far, you're following the story that matters. Days 11 to 15 are next, and they change everything. Make sure you're subscribed. You won't want to miss it.
We won't stop until she's home.
No matter the cost.
Another day, folks. Nancy has still not been found.
If you're enjoying this JLR coverage, make sure you like the video here, subscribe to the channel, spank the like button, leave your DNA of choice in the like button, say hello to the flock of black sheep, the Black Sheep Nation. And again, super chats, super stickers, becoming a channel member or gifting memberships, great way to support the channel. Good way to get questions answered too, if you have any questions. And remember, tell a friend or five about the flock of black sheep here. We got a grand old group. And there's room for more, as long as they're not toxic. Because just by the rule of averages, you know, listen to Dr. Ramani saying 1 in freaking 6 people is narcissistic, according to Dr. Ramani. So that doesn't give you good odds out there. But we try to keep this place toxic free.
Media still camped out here. Whoa, what a wild day yesterday, right?
Only 88 likes. Can you believe it, Shadow? We need to at least get to 100 likes. Or what are we even doing here? 100 likes.
What a crazy day yesterday. They detained a person, only to let him go. FBI searching all over the place. We're going to keep the conversation going.
Who's ordering a pizza today for JLR? On February 11th, 2026, the FBI conducted an extensive search in the Catalina Foothills neighborhood near Tucson, Arizona.
How's it going?
I wish you guys would pick a side.
Yeah.
This is
You want me to let everyone know?
You're a public fucking nuisance.
I am?
Your system is.
Oh, the system. I thought you said me
Your
personally.
people, well, your people that choose blocked streets like
Where do you live?
on this street.
In the street. How do you spot the situation horrible, huh?
Well, yeah, I have great sympathy for the family. For you betcha I do.
But you don't like the parking situation. Like the parking.
Yeah,
people out
yeah,
here.
the parking.
Nancy Guthrie. Who cares about Nancy Guthrie when parking's become a problem? Parking is way more of a concern than Nancy Guthrie, of course, according to this fucking guy.
Hopefully it goes away soon.
Yeah, we hope it. What's the latest? Tell me, is there any new information?
Feds going door to door.
What do we got here, Shadow? We got... Oh, God damn it. Nanny Goat, thank you very much for gifting the Wizard of Radical Self-Respect memberships. Shadow and I really appreciate that. Now, whoever gets it, the Lords of YouTube Random decide will get access to the members-only live streams and Q&A. Chillin' A Q&A. How about that? Thank you again, Nanny. Shadow and I appreciate it.
Or did they go to your house?
Yeah, they've been to my house.
What exactly did they ask you? Like, did they ask you?
They asked permission to look in the wash behind my house.
Why?
Because they're looking for any kind of.
Now, here's the thing. JLR is wily like a fox, right? There's a lot of people that this person comes up to them, says, "Oh, you fucking suck. What are you doing here?" JLR, most people would be a little annoyed by that and be like, maybe even a little defensive. But JLR, he doesn't care at all. He's like, "Oh, I don't care about this person. Like, I've been to jail. Like, I don't care, but I'm going to get this guy for information. I'm going to flip it around on him. I'm not going to be bothered by his rudeness. And before I know it, I'll be interviewing him." So he jujitsu'd it a little bit. Again, there's something. Shadow always reminds me, Jared, there's something to learn from everybody.
Evidence.
A body or
including no, there's looking for any kind of evidence. They indicated porch cameras.
Porch cameras. So a neighbor says that the reason why the feds are there, he thinks, is because they believe that he didn't say she, he is a suspect. And that would be Tommaso Cioni. Who's this? Just saw someone with flashing lights. I also hear an alarm. Or police. Who's this? So, yup. It's investigators. They're showing credentials. FBI's here. Law enforcement is here. They're back. Somebody's here. You got a yellow. Investigators are here. He's opening up with a key. Went in. Oh, he's going in. He's grabbing something. Gloves.
I mean, to be fair, Shadow thinks that JLR might have antisocial personality disorder, honestly. So that's not to be forgotten either. But even so, doesn't mean there's not something to learn from him. Shadow thinks that.
Blue gloves. Blue gloves. Blue gloves. Put blue gloves on.
This is a Cunha producer on the bridge.
Put blue gloves on. You put blue gloves on. You got a bag. You got gloves in a bag. Delivery?
Hey guys, are we collecting evidence?
So this is the neighbor, and she's really mad right now. She's talking about people leaving trash in her yard. She's saying to the sheriff deputy, what happens if there's a fire and a fire emergency? How are you going to get fire trucks? Guthrie's home. It's packed out here.
To be fair, it is rude of them, whoever is throwing trash in the neighbor's yard. That is obnoxious. That's disrespectful to the community and the neighborhood.
Just reporters. Yeah, it's packed out here hard.
February 11th. A black glove was found roughly 1.5 miles from Guthrie's home.
Out front of Nancy Guthrie's home, a lot of law enforcement activity in this area this morning. We're going to talk what is happening. Law enforcement descended onto the property. Forensic sheriffs, they came in, tried to come in when everyone was sleeping. FBI at the scene right here. They're at the scene.
Again, this is in the last.
They're here.
Oh, that was the white tent. What do you all think they were doing in the white tent? Remember the white tent? What was going on in there? Taking evidence from the front porch, Matt?
Yeah, okay.
All right. Dude, that guy was oh, look. Okay, we're on the move. We're on the move. Tent's coming down. Tent is on the move. Coming down. We're leaving. It's the tent. Bags, tent. There's the tent. I'm here with John
DePietro. Yep.
From New England.
Yes.
Out here. You've been out here for days covering. What's your take on the whole situation by your coverage and what your perspective is and what's going on?
In covering different scenes, what we're seeing right now, and I know there's always like second guessing and there's no perfect investigation, but what you're seeing and people are seeing right now is, to me, this shows the FBI is really come in. Here's what should have happened. And where should I be looking? Just straight ahead?
Yeah, you can just look straight ahead.
Here's what should have happened. This entire house should have had yellow tape around it. Annie's house should have had yellow tape around it.
This is right. He is correct here. So that the entire house should have had yellow tape around it, and
the entire time.
It is day
and nothing.
13, folks. In front of the home, bright and early. Tents are up. Rain is in the forecast today. One thing I noticed, though, look at the bottom of the door. I saw these like markings at the bottom of the door there. If you can see them, there's like these like 2 dots. Do you see that?
This card was dropped off from an investigator with Adult Protective Services.
Now,
General stores change, and why her?
Why her? It's a great question. Why her?
It's something just not right. Libby, what are you chewing?
What are you chewing, Libby?
It's already
Look at Libby's teeth.
Hello, Libby.
What's your name?
Thank you, Bob. Yours?
Bob JLR. How are you? Nick, right?
You just showed up. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I remember names. Looks like the pool cleaners.
Are they here just doing their monthly thing, or were they called in?
Put the pool back there. So the viewers want to know about you. Tell us stuff about you.
All right. Well, born and raised here in Tucson, Arizona.
Pedal to the metal, JLR. Let's go.
All right, we're going to go out and take a walk. This is it, Nick.
I'm not here.
What went down here?
JLR arrives at the KVOA News 4 television station for the first time, noting the prominently displayed banner at the front of the building.
That's definitely unexpected.
Look at it. Wow.
Ooh, look at that. We just received a third Nancy Guthrie note.
A third email from the man who claims he knows the identity and the location.
7 minutes ago, guys.
Kidnapper.
Harvey, everyone's favorite Harvey.
And he has now upped his demand. We know it is the same person who wrote the other 2 notes because the Bitcoin address is identical. So he says,
Just trying to help out JLR, guys.
because he does not trust law enforcement. He is essentially saying, you don't trust me and I don't trust you. What he is suggesting is, by the FBI upping the reward to $100,000, it was designed to discredit him. He says, quote, to discredit me. So what he is saying is he now wants the following. He wants 1 fraction of a Bitcoin worth $50,000. And for that, he says he will give up the name and location of the kidnapper. He says
It's always wild that TMZ is the only one that got these notes. I mean, Did they send them other places and TMZ is the only one that reported them? Could that have been what it was?
He will not cash that until the kidnapper is actually arrested, and then he expects the second Bitcoin fraction, another 50,000. So he wants the $100,000 reward.
Media converges on an incorrect location following a local dispatch SWAT alert.
I'm sorry. I haven't heard anything. I'm sitting here on standby. Like I'm playing, I guess, SWAT ambulance chase here tonight. I don't know.
Authorities detained and questioned Luke Daly, 37, and his 77-year-old mother, Mary Chapman Daly, on February 13th.
This was crazy how we were all the way in one town, flew down here, flying up there looking. Holy smokes, folks. This is crazy. This is crazy. I'm literally at the home of the raid last night. I'm at the home of the raid last night. And oh my goodness, there's no one here. This is crazy. This is the home on the left. There's not one police in sight. There's no crime scene tape. There's nobody at the house. This is nuts. Apparently, there's talk that these people have not been arrested and let go.
JLR meets Exploring with Jim.
Shift change.
Exploring with Jim.
Can I show your camera?
Absolutely.
Look what we got. Exploring with Jim?
Exploring with Jim.
Nice. You got the camera and everything like that. What brings you out here? You're from here?
I saw Savannah issue a plea for help. The people to come out and help restart this situation. So I loaded everything up from California, and I'm going to do a grid search.
Neighbor. Got a neighbor of, this is Annie and Tommaso's neighbor.
Oh, nice to meet you.
A grid search, he said he was going to do. I guess it didn't produce any results, I guess.
I just live right over there on the other side of that two-story.
How's it
Annie and Tommaso's neighbor.
been with all the headache with all these people, or dying down?
Crazy.
Yeah.
Interesting week.
Yeah.
You want water?
No, I'm okay. I got Gatorade. I'm good.
Okay,
Thanks.
thank you though.
Yeah.
Thanks. See the cross?
Yeah.
See the cross?
Yeah. It's been weird.
Yeah.
We didn't even know they lived here until about Friday last week.
Oh, interesting. So you didn't have much engagement with them.
Hey.
How are you? Good.
I was over at the Circle. I went to the Circle K and then searched all the arroyos around Annie's house. Just did a complete grid search around there, just with ever expanding concentric circles.
The person of interest is interesting. The guy at the Culvers, his name is Zach, but Pima County was calling him their person of interest. This guy right here. So he's a Tucson resident, and he's the one that was driving the Range Rover. He was picked up. You could kind of see him right there. He's the one that was down there when they pulled him over at the Culvers, right?
He was formerly a Tucson resident. He wasn't driving the Range Rover and was in the...
That's Luke Daly? That doesn't look like him at all. Or is this Zach Jaghoob?
country, Jordan, since 2019.
Being that they accused you about the Range Rover, well, the guy, Luke, who owned the Range Rover, he hasn't even been charged. So for someone to accuse you of anything, it's almost even crazier. You know what I mean?
My name is Zach. I don't know him. I don't know his mother. I didn't.
Okay, that's not Luke Daly down there.
I didn't
Or
meet
up
anybody.
Or up here, or there.
His name is Luke in my life. Okay. Okay. He bought that car from MG Motors and he left. And he paid. And that's it.
That was it.
And his mother paid for that car, not him. So the plate holder, you know, the plate holder,
yeah,
license plate holder. They saw MG Motors on that thing. They went to accounts, MG Motors accounts on social media. They found me. Between 1,000 people, they found Zach. and Zach living in Jordan peacefully. I left US August 2019, before the pandemic.
And that's the house. It's like the Daly house that they went to. According to court records, this guy has all types of like drug charges and whatnot. This is Luke Dale. Again, I don't know for a fact, but this photo is circulating.
Yeah, and that photo almost looks like doctored a little bit compared to what we saw in the interview when that woman from the local Arizona station was interviewing him. I feel like they almost made this picture like to more look like the person on the porch cam with the eyes there, right? But he didn't look like this in person when we saw him be interviewed.
All over. So this is the house. This is the house. Luke Daly. So
like they put a filter on it or something.
A guy that has a long, extensive record. Why they bring authorities to him? I mean, he kind of has that same kind of facial features as the Zach guy with the goatee and mustache there. So FBI increased, as you know, $50,000 to $100,000 for information. The new report came out saying overnight that police helicopters on February 4th were flying over the area using a high-tech Bluetooth scanner to track Guthrie's pacemaker via a helicopter. To you. All right, so this is Daniel. He's running for Congress. Back out here. You've been out here multiple times.
Yeah, I decided to come out here after the shooting we had in Tucson yesterday. Damien and I have been talking. A lot of people have been talking. And the crime is simply out of control.
So I've heard there was a shooting, but it really didn't get much press at all, right?
Not at all. And they're trying to put it as two separate shootings so that they don't have to call it a mass shooting. Keep asking, why has the mayor come out and said anything about any of this that's happened up here? Because our mayor keeps telling everybody that there's no crime here in Tucson, that it's all getting better, that their new what's that thing called, Damien, that they got going?
Safe City Initiative.
There you go. The Safe City Initiative is working. So nothing that's happening right now is happening. It's a figment of our imagination.
Day 16 today, and the Pima County Sheriff says the Guthrie family, including all siblings and spouses, are cleared as possible suspects in this case.
And Fox 10 investigator Justin Lum joining us live now from the Guthrie home in the Catalina foothills with the latest tonight. Justin.
Well, Mark, Christina, as you both know, Sheriff Chris Nanos has said early on in the investigation that everything was on the table, but this is a substantial announcement today saying that the family of Nancy Guthrie has been nothing but cooperative throughout this ordeal. Also today, TMZ reporting that they received a fourth email for a ransom from some.
Now, people being nothing but cooperative doesn't really matter. I'm reading Matt Murphy's book, The Book of Murder. And there was a double homicide where the suspects extremely cooperative in the beginning. And they even overshared. They even incriminated themselves in other ways to appear more trustworthy, because why would someone incriminate themselves if they were guilty, right? Well, it turns out they were absolutely guilty. So again, being cooperative doesn't say anything.
Someone claiming to know the identity of the suspect involved in the alleged kidnapping of Nancy Guthrie.
I guess you guys are making headlines once again. You received yet another communication.
Yeah, so sorry, I'm just going through the notes here. But yeah, we got a fourth letter from someone claiming that they know the people who allegedly kidnapped Nancy Guthrie. They're still asking for $50,000, really just to protect themselves and their family. They're saying this guy is saying he has a criminal record.
By the way, are we at 100 likes yet? Please help us get to 100 likes. Subscribe to the channel. Say hello to the flock of black sheep. And as always, super chats, super stickers, and becoming a channel member or gifting memberships. Great ways to support the channel. They help me pay for Shadow the Night Owl here's soy-free Hootie Snacks. And again, thank you all for your support. I go live almost every night between 10 p.m. and 10:30 p.m. Eastern to talk about true crime, current events, and psychology.
And that, really he's just looking that if he gives this information up, that his family is protected should something happen to him, whether that's from the people who he is allegedly going to rat out or from the police arresting him for other matters that he may have been involved in, or saying that he's involved in this case at all.
What is that? Put something on the back bumper.
Automatic sprinkler.
Automatic sprinkler. He's fixing the sprinkler.
No, man, I've been turning in a few the other day. Remember that tip?
Oh yeah, with the sand.
Yeah. So
So
night, detectives came and picked me up at home.
They did?
Yeah. We met out over to Annie's house. They had FBI there. They wanted me to point to the spot.
Oh, whoa. What's going on there with that?
Well,
So
this was like
that spot over there by that home?
Yeah.
So this was at this. It's interesting you say that because when you were telling us that, the FBI descended onto that neighborhood.
Right.
Now I don't know if that's just them.
It was weird. I never want to put it on me, but they did start looking after that. So they wanted me to point to the spot where I sent them the picture, and they wanted to see the bottom of my shoes to see if those were my prints that were on there, and they were.
Really?
Yeah. Well, because I was there, I was poking it.
So
it
did they like dig, or what did they do?
They dig, and then it was probably a nothing burger, but they started going down the whole wash, and then had me wait at the end of it. You know what I mean?
Oh, so they're taking that seriously
Very
over there.
seriously. So check this out. You guys will not believe this. I think we cracked it open. Maybe it's a nothing burger, but Luke Daly.
Let's pull the thing up a minute. Hold on.
Luke Daly, who was, of course.
Step back. So
Yeah.
You're good.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Luke Daly.
Thank you, man.
Yeah,
Good to see you, Joe. Anyway, so Luke Daly, who was pulled over in the Range Rover, right? And they let him go. Okay, well, looking up Luke Daly, he was arrested in 2025 with a Kayla Noel Day.
Who's Kayla Day?
Guess what? She's related to the Guthries.
Whoa. That's
Yeah.
breaking news. I don't know anything. I have to vet this, folks. I'm only going by what he's saying.
How about take my word for it?
I think we heard that wasn't true. Isn't that what we learned? Is that that's not true?
Criminal Network. If I'm lying, you guys could bash me later, okay? Well, now there's a tent there. Someone's living there. I need to go confront this person. I want to see if there's
tent. Well, no. I mean,
there's no stores in the area.
What in the heck?
That one at the very end. Look at the rocks right there. Those rocks weren't there the other day.
Oh, you were back here before?
Yeah, 2 days ago. See that little tent down that road?
This is crazy.
There's a huge tent at the end of this one. Look.
So this is on First and Orange. Holy smokes.
See?
Go down there and just ask. I'll stay here.
Yeah, no problem.
Go down there. Be safe.
I got you.
Ask them if they see anything suspicious. All right, I turned it off. So, yeah, the camera's facing. I won't shoot.
So,
Hold on, let me go past you and then I'll put the camera back
we
there.
haven't seen anybody over here.
You haven't seen anybody over here?
But I also.
See?
What's your dog's name? Just a little bit.
Little bit. How are you?
Little bit's a good girl. She's a
Nice. Good girl.
She wants to protect her mom.
So you haven't seen any searches here or anything in this general area? No.
Not since
But-
we've been here, but we've only been here for
2 days.
2 days.
2 days. I got some money in my car. I'm gonna go give her some money.
Here comes Dad's Gone Live. He got in yesterday.
She's better. Hey, how are you, sir?
Good.
Nice to see you. What's going on?
Not much. Hey, can I talk to you away from the stream? real
Yes. Come on
quick?
up.
Nothing bad at all.
There you go.
Appreciate that, guys.
There's Dad's Gone Live, California. Kind of gets in his vehicle and just
Drives in circles
streams
4 times.
away. Yeah, we got the flowers. So we'll lay down flowers in the next 10 minutes. I'm waiting for it to kind of. I have an umbrella. All right, so here we go. Right here. Camera footage requested. I mean, that is a large area. Oracle Road seems to be the center of this. Annie and Tommaso live over here. We're here. But it expands. I heard the dog. I heard it. Hello? Are you back here? Did you hear the dog? Hello? Hello? Where's the lady with the little dog?
I don't know if she was here.
She was
What is this, like a homeless encampment or something?
here.
Yeah, but she's in
I'm right here.
Hey! It's you. Can I step past your thing? I'm gonna step past. All right, man. I don't mean to intrude under here. You okay?
Yeah, all right.
How's it going?
No, man.
Hey, your dog's not gonna bite me, is it?
No, she just doesn't know who it is. Yes.
I got something for a little bit.
What we're watching here is a mosh-up of some of the live streamers. Dad's Gone Live, JLR, others. Just like doing like they did a 40-day breakdown. We might not watch the entire 40 days. Maybe save some for another day. Maybe watch up to like day 20.
Here.
Thank you so much.
And I have something for you. A gift card.
Thank you.
For Safeway.
Cool.
It's
Thank you.
$100.
Thank you so much.
A lot of people, you know, I know people struggle and stuff like that. And I want to make sure you're okay, at least eating good and stuff like that.
Cupid! Hello! Come here.
Hello, you got some freeze. Open it up. Let me watch a little bit and some. Can I? Here, put it over here. It's Sandy over here.
You hungry? No, Marvin's gonna go get some in a minute. I think.
You can eat good for the next week.
Maybe
Maybe next week we'll come back and get a little bit some more food.
Yeah. A little bit. Look at that. Little bites. Look. Yeah.
Good
girl.
boy. Good boy.
You got it. See? That's good. Get some good foodies. There you go. Look. Thank you.
Wonder what the hell the dog normally eats out there. Does it like fend for itself? Makes them catch like rodents?
Bless you.
Thank you so much.
Again, if you see anything, let us know. If you see any police activity or anything
course.
around here,
I will.
please let us
I was
know.
actually looking your site up yesterday.
Nice.
I was looking at all of the videos that you have. That's pretty cool.
Pretty cool. You okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Thank
so
you so
I'm gonna
much.
bounce off. You be safe.
Thank you.
Thank you. God bless you. Is it Domino's? Papa John's. They're telling them to move. They're getting mad. He's just like, interesting. I don't know, folks. Let me know what you think.
Where's Brian Netton over there? Brian Netton somewhere to the left? No, I don't see him.
All right, they're doing their shots now. Dude, they're preventing him from leaving.
Yeah, so do we, brother. We're trying to work out. There's a cop you're not supposed to be on.
Dude, they're arguing. So the media's like, we're doing a shot right now, and he's like, I got a job too. Oh, me give him the finger. Like, I'm trying to put myself in a criminal mind, right? And I've been incarcerated.
Well, JLR doesn't have to try too hard for that. Shadow says, try to put yourself in a criminal mind.
With all types of people, I've been incarcerated with nonviolent drug offenders, fraudsters, terrorists. I gotta go. Why is he screaming for us to hold it down? I gotta go. That's the same guy that yelled before, man.
Yeah,
That's the same guy that yelled before. Like this guy right here was telling me about the fire truck or whatever.
K-Gun 9 is the worst.
Now he's yelling at me to tell me to turn it down when we've been here first.
They're
crazy.
Yeah.
Guy's like, yo, we're about to go live. That's the same guy that was yelling at me about the fire truck. That was yelling at the other reporter. I'm with a gentleman here, Mel. All eyes watching the world. He's out here. He's from New York. What's going on?
Yes, the name of the channel on YouTube is Watching the World, but I'm also on other platforms. So
Looks like he's got a iPhone. Nice little tripod action there. I got one of those too. His list shadow is on the end of the boom pole here. If I were to show you, there's a boom pole with a microphone on it and a little tripod to rest the boom pole.
Pickup truck. It's been parked on the side of the road.
What time?
You seen that guy?
Where?
He's like working at like 3 a.m, just on the side of the road.
No, I'm not aware of
Sitting
that.
there. Yeah. it's been, like,
Shadow wants to know who's this woman. Shadow might want to ask her out on a date.
really creepy when you walk in. Sitting like that.
Really?
I'm gonna go say something.
Okay. Whoa. She's just saying that she's going to go talk to deputies. She's saying there's a guy in a pickup truck that's been parking out here at 3 a.m. with gloves on, black gloves. I'm serious. She's like, do you know anything about a pickup truck that is a white pickup truck that's been parking out here?
She reminds me of one of those go-getter reporters from the movie Thank You for Smoking. Katie Holmes's character. Anyone seen Thank You for Smoking? With Nick Naylor?
A white Ford Ranger with California plates.
She took the picture.
I don't know. She might have.
Or something earlier?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, that was me.
That was you?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, that was me.
Are you the suspicious man?
That's what they were saying. So, man, I'm YouTubing.
You have gloves?
Yeah, I have.
You have black gloves?
Yeah.
Let me see. Let me just see. There, yeah.
I mean,
you're coming to set the record
well,
straight.
yeah. I mean, I'm like up there sleeping. I was YouTubing last night with Jacob. We're having some pizza out here, and then everybody's blowing up my phone right now. I just woke up, so.
Oh wow.
They're like, dude, what the hell is going on?
What's your name?
Bart.
Talk to the girl
So
in the
you're just
black-
out here streaming.
I mean, come on, give him a break, right?
I know, right? I mean, that's pretty cool.
Yep.
No trespassing signs planted in front of Luke Daly's house. That's the guy's house. And there also was lights all over the house on. I went there this morning. He got a lawyer, just like Carlos. Total denial. Most of the time, and most Americans, when you have your home searched with a warrant, the authorities give you a warrant, let you know what they're searching, the warrant signed by the judge about the search. Well, in this particular case, both people, they're not being provided the warrant. Oh man, it stinks. Anybody in there? Oh man, it stinks. Oh, hold my nose. Oh.
Or kind of rude of JLR to be talking like that if there's people there.
God. Ooh. Oh. Crap, I thought I saw somebody. There's a bed in here. This is crazy. Oh my goodness, it stinks in here. So are you gonna just where do you plan to search?
I was just going to take a look around here. Once again, coming in, I'm interested in the garbage can because, to be bleak about it, they may have had to move a body somehow. And if you got to improvise, that's one of the easiest ways to do it, I would assume.
Which would be what?
A garbage can.
This guy like from the Cajun Navy or something? He's from the South somewhere.
Yeah.
It's a new theory.
My nephew, he did body pickups here.
Well, that was like a homeless encampment where they probably go to the bathroom around there and there's like BO and all sorts of things, right?
For 3 years, so he got experience with it. And the two easiest ways you can improvise, garbage can and a sheet to move.
So how do you do that? What do you mean? Like just put some money in a sheet, put them in the garbage?
No, you literally lay the garbage can down on the ground and then pull someone into it and then tip it back up. And then you can roll it.
You can roll a garbage can.
That's right.
To where?
Away from the vehicle. If you want to move a body, would be the next thing.
She came from Mexico. She came from Mexico. So a big group from Mexico is coming, folks.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna go up. Oh, camera full. No umbrella. Thank you.
Here comes Dolly Vision.
Oh my God. Remember him? He was the guy that said, "Oh my goodness, I saw someone end their life, or I saw a dead body." And it was like, and he tried to make the connection between that and the Guthrie case, but that's not what it was at all. I remember it now like it was yesterday, which I was fighting people in the comments about that because people were so convinced it was something. And I was like, no, we must do our due diligence here and wait and see. And wait and see we did, and we realized it was a completely different thing. There was a hit and run accident is what it was. Remember that?
That's Jim. We got Jim in the house.
Jim.
Hey, Jim. My whole chat has been asking about you. My whole chat has been asking about you, man. They were very concerned.
I'm gonna come back talk.
Come on in, man. You got the look what Jim got here. Look.
Don't show my license.
All right, won't show your license plate. Look at this. Yeah, we'll see you. Come on in. So how are you doing?
Or something. I'm doing good. Yeah, doing great. I just got back from. I was searching Sweetwater Reservoir and some of the reservoirs up north of town.
Uh-oh. What's going on?
They're clearing now
Clearing out the road?
for about an hour.
They have to clear the road out?
For an hour. For about a little bit. They're gonna put barricades on.
Oh. Hey, do we gotta bounce?
We're trying to get everybody out for like an hour.
Gotcha.
So basically, they're turning this into a one-way.
Yeah. We saw the
barricades, and then you guys just got to be on the other side of the barricades.
Okay.
I'm gonna search from this intersection down here. I'm gonna do a very careful search along the roadway, a foot search, and I'm trying not to miss anything. Gonna go from this intersection all the way down Campbell Avenue. I'm figuring if this bloody glove is associated with the case, maybe other things could have been thrown into the brush. So just very.
Are you
very
aware about
careful.
the search tomorrow?
I'm not.
So Hobby Lobby on Oracle and Orange Grove, search group is meeting at 8 a.m. tomorrow.
Okay.
So you should go.
Okay. Yeah.
There's so much people looking, but here the sheriff say
No, you need a permit. Unbelievable. Thanks for sharing, and thank you for caring about Nancy. Unbelievable, folks. Now the sheriff's telling searchers they need a permit.
Of course.
People were saying that. Oh. What was that? Hey, you broke it, man. Who is that?
She's a neighbor.
Literally, just didn't even slow down.
Well, that's kind of my fault. It's in the road.
No, sorry.
Nah, but
Yeah, she broke my tripod.
At the end, right?
my back to you. Keep being Jim.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, what the heck? Somebody's going on the property, dude. What the heck is this guy? He just got kicked off the property. There's another one. What did he do? That's weird. What was he walking up for? Hello, sir. What got you to go up there? Do you know Guthrie's? Why were you walking on the property? More people walking on the property. What in the heck? You guys law enforcement? How's it going? What's going on?
Not much. We're just looking at this.
Oh, nice. You guys like investigators? I'm JLR Investigate.
Just tourists.
Oh, you're tourists.
We live up the road a ways. Yeah.
Gotcha. I thought I was finding what's going on. Like maybe you're investigators or.
No.
If any psychic is out there or medium are out there and wants to take me on a drive in this area and try to, figure out where Nancy is based on how you do things, I'd be more than welcome to take a psychic around. It does appear searchers are arriving here. So I'll get out of the car here in a second.
To step up and help find a local community member.
I find it, it's saddening that 3 weeks have gone by and there hasn't been one major grid search. I showed up the Tuesday right after it happened, and I went up to the news cameras and I was like, "Is there a search party?" Like, "Oh, we don't know about any search party." Today, we're out here searching for Nano.
Found a backpack. She's got gloves. Oh, here comes another one.
Doing here? This is our house. What are you doing?
It's a public road.
Filming.
It's a public road.
What are you filming?
We're not filming your house. And we're not filming your house. We're walking. This is
Who are you and where are you from?
Who are you and where are you from?
I live here. This is my street.
But we're not,
what the hell are you doing?
We're not involved with your house.
Well, then get the hell out of here.
We're walking. No one's bothering you.
You can leave.
We were
Keep
walking.
walking.
When we're done with what we're doing,
keep
we'll
walking.
leave. We will
What?
keep
You're
walking.
filming our property. You have no right
No
to
one's
do
filming
that.
your property. We're not filming houses.
Yes, you were. You were filming right up
No,
at the house.
we were filming.
Who are these women talking here? Who are the women filming? Anyone know?
You until you walked up here. We started filming you once you walked up here. So you put yourself in here. You see
You
the
have
camera?
no right to use that footage. For anything, you have no right to use the footage of our house.
You walked into our camera. Well, the sheriff
You
seems
have
to
no
let
right
us.
to be here.
We do.
Get the hell out.
You can go back in your car and
I'm
leave.
sick of this media
Have a good day,
circus
ma'am.
bullshit.
Have a good day, ma'am.
Get
God
the
bless.
hell out of our.
God bless. Maybe tell your sheriff to do a better job and we wouldn't have to be here.
Honestly, I wouldn't like those girls talking to me like that either. And I wouldn't like her either.
They're media, so they think they have a right to do any goddamn thing they want.
Bring Nancy
Lying
home.
pieces of shit.
Welcome to America. Bring Nancy home.
Wow.
Oh, yay! Look how you drive.
I think that was a little uncalled for. I'd stay silent. I mean, we're literally just walking down the street.
I'll tell you this, JLR is better at handling the angry folks than I think those ladies were.
Oh, what's this? What the heck? Who the heck is this? The heck? She got a basket full of flowers and all types of things.
The girls are like, "You walked into our camera. You walked into our camera line of sight." I'm going to start using that line. You walked into my camera. You're happy? You're not happy I'm filming? You walked into my camera.
Those flowers. I thought you were going to the house for something like.
Oh, no, I don't know what's going on. I'm just delivering flowers.
Why authorities believe Guthrie was possibly taken from her home. No suspects or person of interest have been publicly identified. DNA from her home does not match any samples in the FBI's DNA database, and authorities are still asking the public's help to help identify a man seen in images. Sprinkler's still broken. Remember the gardener came the other day? We thought he was fixing the sprinkler. Sprinkler's still broken. Authorities have been searching as far as looking for surveillance, ring cameras, floodlights, whatever on individuals, that could be responsible within this 5-mile zone, the Catalina foothills.
Suspect in Nancy Guthrie case had been to the house before the night of her disappearance.
What day was it that this footage came out? Was it day 23? That's insane if it took that long.
Source says. The Pima County Sheriff's Office said in a statement, there is no date or timestamp associated with these images. Therefore, any suggestion that the photographs were taken on different days.
All right, so it's way before this. It's way before the stuff came out. And this is when Sheriff Nanos contradicted Brian Netton, because Brian Netton's source said these were from 2 different days. And look at it. Unless the lighting's completely off, it looks like the backpack straps in the right one are different than the ones in the left one, right?
Is purely speculative.
Thank you, Joe.
Folks, follow this guy.
No, follow
Nobody
this guy.
works harder.
Follow
harder.
this guy. Steve Arena, come on in. Very nice to meet you. How are you?
We're good.
Thank you for coming out. What's going on, Steve?
Well, I wanted to give you something.
Oh, whoa. I didn't expect this. What do you got?
A challenge coin.
Holy smokes, I got a challenge coin.
A little background to this.
Look at this. The Department of Homeland Security. Love it.
They got their eyes on JLR, the Department of Homeland Security, because JLR, never forget, he is a Jew for Trump and a Muslim for Hillary. Don't forget it.
So I'm retired CBP.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm a civilian employee.
God bless you. I love.
On the way to Saguaro National Park, sit back and relax.
Let me go out here and look. It's out here. Dude, we're in the national park, so we can walk this land, right? This is public land.
Yeah, this is all good, especially right here. I mean, you don't want to go too far out,
Yeah.
but yeah.
My first name's Josh, Josh. Last name's Gill, Gill. I'm the incident commander for the
Oh, here they are. So the Cajun Navy's out there. This is day 23, mind you.
United Kingdom Navy based out of Louisiana.
Josh Gill, thank you for your time.
Yes,
Good
sir,
luck
thank
to
you. Absolutely. United Cajun Navy out of Louisiana.
Okay, and what other searches have been a part of?
A lot of them, actually.
So let's analyze this video first. Then we'll discuss things.
I'm going to say it is day 24 since our mom was taken in the dark of night from her.
Well, this is where we left off in the other video, or where the other video began. So maybe this is a good time to pause it for now and pick it up perhaps another day. Because, we've been watching that stuff for a while now. Well, isn't the Cajun Navy from Louisiana? Or is there different versions? Or there's the Cajun Army and the Cajun Navy? Are they maybe different? I know not, and nor does Shadow. But what I do know is they were never given permission to do it. They were never given permission to search. Maureen O'Connell said they should just search anyway. And I'm not sure why they didn't, honestly. Maybe they just didn't want to get in local law enforcement's bad graces. I don't know. But as far as I know, they never were able to look. And that was that. Unedited said, this is the funnest midnight YouTube stream watching night in a long time. Thanks to Jared. Tap the like button for a great one. Amen. Say it again, says Jared in Shadow. Like the video out there, because likes are free. May said, thanks, Jared. That's popped up on my algorithm today and thought it was a good thing to watch. Yes, I'm glad you recommended it, because there really was nothing else to watch tonight anyway. So, again, there's always lessons to learn from everything that we watch, including JLR, despite his flaws. taking your B12. I take a good chunk of B12, Miss Kim. Shadow and I do. We both do, because we have a 5-hour energy in the morning, and we cut a 5,000 microgram B12 in half. Chewable. So I would get a hefty amount of B12. Thank you, Autumn. Make sure you tell a friend or 5 about the flock of black sheep so that we can do our hooty hoo roll call like the coyotes, except we'll be the black sheep and owls. I guess who's. The owls make sense more for a roll call, right? So the coyotes were saying whatever they say. The owls will be saying woo, woo. That's right, Dana. And like Julie Bug says, hoot, hoot. We need our cake and shake milkshake from Cold Stone. Or a vanilla milkshake will suffice. That's one of my weaknesses, a vanilla milkshake. Or a cake and shake milkshake. They are damn good. Or as KFC would say, finger licking good. Except you're not going to be finger licking from a milkshake. And we'll have to see what we're going to talk about this weekend. We seem to be a little bit in a no man's land here of cases and things to go over. So we'll have to see. There might be more interviews coming up. Well, I know there will be. Dr. Salerno is next Friday, by the way. That will be recorded. My friend from the United Arab Emirates, UAE, she has a book. I'll get her on at some point. Going to invite Matt Murphy on. I would like Dr. George Simon to be a regular guest. I would like the woman from Women Who Love Psychopaths book. I want to get her on the show. Some people that talk about Machiavellians. I would like to talk to them. Strawberry milkshake? I would have a strawberry milkshake. It's like in Pulp Fiction. They don't put any whiskey in that thing or anything? Nope. Because Vincent Vega and Mia Wallace, they have their milkshake and a tasty burger before they do the dance, before they do the twist at Jack Rabbit Slim's. Everyone else know their Pulp Fiction trivia out there? Because I sure do. It was a teenage wedding and the old folks wished him well. Good old Quentin Tarantino and his foot fetish. Have a great night, Larry Linda. We'll see you tomorrow night, partner. We got to figure out what we're going to do. Like, you know why they call it a Royale with cheese in France? Because of the metric system. Ah, he goes, look at the big brain on Brad. I can quote Pulp Fiction all day. Probably one of his most quotable movies ever, really. Don't you like it, Julie Bug? Or maybe Reservoir Dogs. Good night, Dana, Julie, Miss Kim, and Laura. Thanks for modding. It's like, Rooster, do they speak English in what? Do they speak English in what? What? Oh, someone gives me a chuckle. Samuel L. gives me a chuckle on that one. And the wolf gives me a chuckle. Christopher Walken gives me a little bit of a chuckle. That's right, honey bunny. Less heroes at the diner, right? Less heroes at the restaurant than there would be at the bank. So, good old score you can get collecting the wallets from a restaurant. Nope, I have not seen that, Rooster. Shadow and I got to get on it. That's right, Miss Kim. Christopher Walken hid that uncomfortable hunk of metal up his ass for a couple years. And then Bruce Willis's girlfriend forgot it. Can you believe it? And then he had to go back and almost got himself killed by Vincent Vega. But instead, he killed Vincent Vega. Whoops. Poor Vincent. But all right, folks, remember to like the video. Make sure you're subscribed. Tell a friend or 5. Thank you for all of your support. And I'll be seeing you tomorrow night. Be there or be square. And everyone needs to check out the Suey Kings. Can't say it or YouTube wouldn't like it. Yes, it is sad, Autumn. They've got like dementia or something like it. But all right, folks. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the recommendation, Mace. And to all, a good night.